Welcome to California in Focus. I'm your host, Keegan Kernodle, joined by our California reporter, Kenneth Strutt. And today we're talking about Newsom cutting California's paid service corps after just suing Trump for something very similar. Kenneth, what's going on with this?
Hey, Keegan, a couple funny things going on here. So Donald Trump he's proposed making major cuts to Americorps, which is this national staff, agency program that connects individuals to service opportunities and administers the finances for these programs. Very often, these are paid programs in which people volunteer to be paid money. Other people tend to call this a job, but if we want to call it a service program, that's okay too. So Newsom sued Trump for cuts to Americorps. Well, at the same time, because of the state's budget situation, his proposed funding for the California Service Corps has gone down by about $10 million since January. So he's out here making proposed reductions in his proposed spending as well. Now, the kind of projects that this paid service program supports include things like taking climate action and like ending food insecurity. The majority of this program is actually paying college students. They get paid about a little over $20 an hour to volunteer with an approved organization by their college. The college gets a lot more money, though, than they actually give out to these students. So the students get, depending on the program, the students of the California College Corps, they get about $10,000 a year for doing 450 hours of service. It's like $22 an hour, I believe. So it's well above the state's minimum wage. They call this a stipend. Seems like they're being paid above minimum wage. There's another program called the California Climate Corps that provides an up to $33,000 stipend for the 11th month program, plus about $10,000 towards tuition or student loans, forbearance on existing student loans and interest. And then included in California Climate Corps are childcare assistance and food stamps. It's not really clear what kind of work this is and why people are collecting pretty much a salary for this. There is some good work being done, I know, in brush management and brush clearance, but that's extremely limited. There have not been many projects for brush clearance and forest management done. It's not clear what the other positive results of this been. Going back to the California College Corps, though, the state legislative analysts looked at the program and found that the majority of the funding goes to administrative costs. It doesn't go out to the program where the kids are getting paid $10,000 a year for volunteering, which is just a wage indirectly. Half of that money is going to college administrative offices for overseeing the paperwork for the program. So the LAO found of the proposed $84 million ongoing for the program in 2026, 2027, about $45 million will be used for administrative costs for the College Corps program. I mean, this is all just for the College Corps program, not the overall budget for the program. So a lot of this money is just going towards overhead, and bureaucracy. That's entirely separate from the fact that what are we getting for this money? What are we paying these kids for? Why are they being paid in the first place for volunteering? It's all very bizarre to me.
In college, I did something similar in Idaho, and it was volunteer. I didn't get paid. So it's very interesting on this.
So you were volunteering your time as a volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, I got a credit, for my college,
right?
But I didn't get paid.
So College Corps quote unquote volunteers, they also get college credit. So they get everything. They get money, they get and college credit. So sorry, Keegan.
there's like childcare assistance and stuff also included.
Depends on which program you do. So after you graduate from college, you can then go to the conservation or climate corps, and then then you'll get paid $33,000 a year, $10,000 in tuition or student loan aid, plus childcare and food stamps.
I see. Yeah. No, I guess I did it in the wrong state.
Yeah, you should have come to California to join the bureaucracy pipeline.
What?
Because then you can get a job after the climate corps, being a bureaucrat administering the college corps program. Because again, half of the money from the college corps just goes to bureaucrats and oversight and paperwork. So if they want to keep growing the college corps program, they need to hire more bureaucrats.
Which is where you're making more money anyway. So that's
just where you make much more money. Yes, the pay is much higher for these university full-time bureaucratic positions. These are solid six-figure jobs usually.
At least for now. But with these cuts possibly coming from Newsom,
let's be honest here. It's not really a cut. It's just expanding it less than he originally proposed in January.
I see. So it's not actually making it smaller than it already is right now.
No, the average funding for just the College Corps program has been $75 million a year. The governor proposed $84 million. The overall California service corps cut was about 10 million, I think, over like a $200 million budget. And it's only about 5 million is coming from the reduction proposed from the original plan for this specific college program. The other half is coming from, most likely, I think, is this communications campaign, a $5 million like belonging campaign. I don't know what that means. The legislative analyst said, we don't know what this means. We don't know what problem it's addressing. We don't know how you're actually going to solve it with the communications campaign. None of this makes any sense. It was actually one of the more entertaining reports I've read.
Yeah, interesting for that to be in a report. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, well, they're nonpartisan. They're state funded. I think they take their job seriously. I really love reading their work. They're one of the few taxpayer funded agencies I'm happy we pay for, and they don't get very much money. They don't have very many staff, but the staff they do have, and they do great work.
I see. Well, do we foresee this going anywhere? Like what's the next step kind of with this?
The next step is the lawsuit at the national level. Is Trump allowed to fire 85% of these people? Maybe. I don't know. We've seen injunctions for any number of reasons, valid or not, against otherwise legal executive actions that do eventually get overturned at a higher court. Sometimes not. It's all a black hole. We don't know what's going to happen with these lawsuits. But we do know is California is facing an $11.9 billion budget shortfall. Cuts for this program may have to be even bigger than expected because of changes with the federal budget in the House. There are new budgetary changes that could cost California $40 billion a year in lost Medicaid funding, or up to $40 billion. The actual cost of the work requirement, the work/education/ volunteering requirement, that impact, Governor Newsom says it'll cost about $23 billion a year lost Medicaid funding if we require people on Medicaid who are able-bodied, working-age adults to be in education, working or volunteering at least 80 hours a month, which is less than half time. That's less than 20 hours a week. That's 20 hours a week, pretty much. He says that requirement would cost California $23 billion in lost funding because 3 million people in California simply would not do this. Well, maybe there's a valid use for the California Volunteer Corps here. If volunteering 20 hours a week counts towards the bare minimum that you need to be doing to not get kicked off Medicaid if you're an able-bodied working age adult, perhaps this will be the way that they help maintain that funding. You never know.
Well, it's been very interesting, Kenneth. Thanks for explaining this to us, breaking it down. Readers can keep up with this and more at thecentersquare.com. Thanks for joining us.